If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns find themselves at a pivotal crossroads as they head into the 2025 NFL season, particularly at the linebacker position, a role critical not just for stuffing the run, but for anchoring the defense with experience, vision, and leadership. After showing flashes of dominance in 2024, hopes were high for this unit to build even further, especially with the dynamic presence of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. But in a move that felt more like a gut punch than a surprise, the Browns announced this week that Jock would be placed on the reserve physically unable to perform list, effectively ending his 2025 campaign before it begins. The young linebacker has been struggling with a lingering neck injury that first emerged midway through last season. Although there were quiet rumblings during the offseason that this could be a possibility, the confirmation still hit hard for fans and teammates alike. Knowing how crucial his sideline-to-sideline speed and playmaking instincts were to this defense, the situation only gets murkier when you consider the off-field drama surrounding Devin Bush, the veteran linebacker who was expected to provide solid depth and versatility in this year's rotation. On May 4th, Bush was arrested in Pennsylvania on charges of simple assault and harassment. The incident has cast a shadow over the linebacker room just as off-season programs are starting to ramp up. So far, the Browns front office has been tight-lipped, issuing only a brief statement saying they are gathering more information before determining next steps. That kind of limbo isn't ideal for any team, especially one trying to solidify a defensive identity under new pressures and rising expectations. The uncertainty around Bush's future with the team adds yet another layer of instability, forcing the coaching staff to dig deeper into its roster and reevaluate what leadership and productivity will look like without two key names penciled. In doubt, fortunately, the Browns didn't go into the 2025 season without a plan. In fact, the front office took proactive measures during the NFL draft by selecting Carson Schwessinger out of UCLA, a move that didn't necessarily grab headlines at the time, but could prove to be quietly brilliant. Schwessinger brings a tenacious edge and a run-stopping mentality that this linebacker group desperately needs. While pairing him with a healthy Jock would have been ideal, his physical style and instincts against the run mean he could still fill an important gap on early downs. And special teams. The rookie may not be expected to take over the room right away, but there's a growing confidence that he can contribute in meaningful ways. His ability to read gaps and take on blockers head-on makes him a valuable asset, especially when you consider how much of the AFC North is built on gritty smash-mouth football. But in the midst of all this roster shuffling and uncertainty, there's one name that's not getting nearly enough attention: Jordan Hicks, entering his 11th season. In the NFL, Hicks is coming off what could be described as a renaissance year. According to Pro Football Focus, Hicks finished the 2024 season with an overall grade of 77.4, good enough to place him among the top 10 linebackers in the league. That's not just impressive for someone approaching 33 years old. It's a clear indication that Hicks still has plenty left in the tank. He stepped into a leadership role last season when Jock went down, and he did so seamlessly, reminding fans and analysts alike of the savvy veteran linebacker who helped lead the Philadelphia Eagles to a Super Bowl in 2017. Now, he's poised to be the anchor this group needs more than ever. Hicks's 2024 campaign was a model of consistency and veteran savvy. Starting 12 games for the Browns, he racked up 78 tackles, including 4 for loss, and added 2 sacks and 5 quarterback hits for good measure. What stands out even more, though, is his balance in both run defense and pass coverage, a rare dual-threat capability for linebackers today. Only 8 linebackers in the NFL finished the year with top 25 grades in both categories, and Hicks was one of them. His 77.7 run defense grade and 70.0 in coverage prove that he can still handle whatever offensive coordinators throw at him. Whether it's reading a pulling guard to stuff a run or dropping back into a zone to take away a tight end route, Hicks continues to display the instincts and football IQ that made him a mainstay in the league for over a decade. More importantly, Hicks brings a calming, instructive presence to a linebacker room that desperately needs it. Behind him, the Browns have a collection of promising but unproven talent. Mohamoud Diabate, Easter Mascarenas-Arnold, Winston Reed, and Nathaniel Watson. All four are intriguing athletes with different skill sets, but none have the game day experience that comes from playing in over 130 NFL contests like Hicks does. His leadership doesn't just show up on film. It's felt in the locker room, in the film room, and in practice reps. Younger players have repeatedly spoken about how Hicks takes the time to mentor them, walking them through reads, positioning, and situational awareness. That kind of mentorship is invaluable, especially in a position that demands constant communication and split-second decision-making. This transition period for the Browns linebacker corps is more than just a test of talent. It's a test of identity. The team's success in 2025 may hinge less on splashy plays and more on gritty, dependable performances, something Hicks has made a career out of delivering. As the Browns prepare for training camp and begin to map out roles, defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz will likely lean heavily on Hicks not just for his production, but for his ability to elevate the players around him. His presence allows Cleveland to be creative with how they deploy their younger linebackers, giving them the freedom to make mistakes and learn, knowing there's a seasoned vet cleaning things up behind them. That trust, more than any highlight reel play, is what makes Hicks so vital right now. And make no mistake, the AFC North isn't getting any easier, with offenses like Cincinnati's and Baltimore's constantly evolving, and Pittsburgh always finding a way to punch above its weight. The margin for error in this division is razor thin. Having a linebacker who not only understands complex defensive schemes, but has also played under playoff pressure is something that can be understated. Hicks gives the Browns that rare combination of reliability and resilience. And while he may not be the flashiest name on the roster, he could very well end up being one of the most important by season's end. His journey, once a rising star, then a steady starter, and now an elder statesman, is a blueprint for longevity and one of the NFL's most punishing roles. So as fans begin to temper expectations around Joe Key's absence and wait for clarity on Devin Bush's situation, it might be time to shift the spotlight toward Jordan Hicks. He represents not just a bridge between eras, but a pillar of stability in a time of transition. The Browns have plenty of questions to answer this offseason, but at least at linebacker, there's one answer they can count on. Hicks is still here, still producing and still leading. That quiet consistency might not steal headlines, but in a season where so much is up in the air, it could make all the difference. Whether you're looking at PFF grades, stat lines, or locker room impact, Hicks checks every box. And come week one, A&E and hope all you on. Don't be surprised if it's his name being called after another big-time play, proving once again that experience still matters in the NFL. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. And now we want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. In one of the most jaw-dropping moves of recent NFL history, superstar edge rusher TJ Watt has officially parted ways with the Pittsburgh Steelers and signed a monumental contract with none other than their fierce division rivals, the Cleveland Browns. Let that sink in. The face of the Steelers' defense for the past several years, a defensive player of the year, and one of the most feared pass rushers in the game, is now donning the brown and orange. It's not just a transfer, it's a seismic shift in the AFC North. Fans are stunned, analysts are scrambling for answers, and the rivalry just got nuclear. The Browns have not only acquired a generational talent, they've struck a psychological blow to their biggest rivals, and the effects of this deal will ripple throughout the NFL for years. This isn't just football, this is war, and it's about to get personal. For Steelers fans, this is more than a roster update, it's heartbreak. TJ Watt wasn't just another player, he was the guy. Drafted in 2017, Watt quickly ascended the ranks, becoming the backbone of the Steelers' defense, a locker room leader, and the embodiment of Pittsburgh's hard-nosed football identity. From relentless sacks to game-changing plays, he carried on the legacy of defensive legends like James Harrison and Troy Polamalu. Every time Watt lined up, you felt the electricity, the danger, the possibility that something incredible was about to happen. And now that spark is gone. The Steelers didn't just lose a star, they lost their heartbeat. Social media is in chaos. Fans are burning jerseys and questions are swirling. How could the Steelers let this happen? How do you even begin to replace someone like TJ Watt? From the Browns' perspective, this is the boldest power move in recent memory. After years of trying to find their identity and constantly being overshadowed by the Steelers and Ravens, Cleveland has made a statement that echoes far beyond their locker room. They're not here to play second fiddle anymore. They're here to dominate. And they just sent that message loud and clear by locking down one of the top defensive players in the league. Reports suggest that the Browns offered a record-breaking deal, reportedly north of $150 million over 5 years, with massive guarantees and incentives tied to playoff performances and sack milestones. It's not just a paycheck, it's a declaration. Cleveland is going all in, and they're not afraid to ruffle feathers to get to the top. But why would TJ Watt make such a drastic move? Loyalty, pride, legacy. These are words that have defined his career in Pittsburgh. And yet, according to sources close to the situation, this was a decision that had been brewing behind the scenes for quite some time. Contract tensions with the Steelers reportedly began last season, with Watt feeling undervalued and undersupported. While he remained professional on the field, the cracks were forming. Add to that the Steelers' lack of postseason success in recent years and an aging roster, and Watt apparently started looking for a team that could match his hunger for a Super Bowl. Cleveland, with its young core, aggressive front office, and improving culture, became a very attractive destination. In Watt's own words, "I'm here to win, simple as that." This move will undoubtedly alter the landscape of the AFC North. Imagine the next Steelers versus Browns game. The tension, the crowd, the betrayal in the air. It's going to be electric. TJ Watt lining up across from Kenny Pickett, hunting down the very team that once cheered his every move. It's Shakespearean in its drama. This isn't just a roster change. It's an NFL soap opera in real time. The Browns, already boasting stars like Myles Garrett, now form arguably the most terrifying defensive duo in the league. Quarterbacks across the AFC are sweating bullets, offensive coordinators are losing sleep, and Browns fans are already dreaming of playoff runs and Lombardi trophies. Let's talk legacy. With this move, TJ Watt takes a risk. Leaving a team where you're a legend to join a rival is always a gamble. The backlash from Pittsburgh is fierce, and the pressure in Cleveland will be relentless. Every missed tackle, every game without a sack, every playoff loss would be magnified tenfold. But Watt has never been one to shy away from pressure. If anything, he thrives in it. This could be the defining chapter of his career. If he leads the Browns to a Super Bowl, if he dominates with Garrett by his side, if he becomes the missing piece of Cleveland's puzzle, he won't just be remembered as a great player. He'll be remembered as a bold one, a fearless one, a game changer in every sense. The ripple effects of this move will be felt far beyond Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Teams around the league will have to adjust. The Bengals and Ravens suddenly have even more reason to be nervous. Offensive lines will need to scheme around not one, but two elite edge rushers on the Browns' front. Free agents will start looking at Cleveland as a serious contender. And the media spotlight, once firmly fixed on traditional powerhouses, is now shifting toward the Dawg Pound. This is more than just a contract, it's a cultural shift. The Browns are no longer the underdogs, they're the predators. And the rest of the league just became prey. What does this mean for the Steelers going forward? Well, they're in a tough spot. Losing a generational talent like TJ Watt isn't something you just recover from overnight. The defense will have to retool, both schematically and emotionally. Leadership in the locker room takes a hit, and the message sent to current and future players is concerning. Are the Steelers still committed to winning at all costs? Or are they letting their golden era slip away in the name of cap space and rebuilding? Head coach Mike Tomlin now faces one of the biggest challenges of his career: keeping the team unified and competitive after such a demoralizing loss. The front office will be under a microscope, and fans will be demanding answers and results. As for TJ Watt's next chapter, it's clear he's stepping into it with purpose. In his introductory press conference, he radiated focus and determination. I've got a lot of respect for what I built in Pittsburgh, but I'm here now, and I'm ready to take Cleveland to the top, he said, eyes locked in. There was no hesitation, no regret, just hunger. That's the kind of energy that can transform a franchise. And that's exactly what the Browns are. Betting on. Watt isn't just a player, they believe he's the catalyst for a new era. An era defined by dominance, intimidation, and most importantly, wins. The clock is ticking. The countdown to kickoff has never felt more intense. So buckle up, NFL fans, because the 2025 season just got a lot more interesting. The storylines are rich, the rivalries are harder than ever, and the stakes couldn't be higher. TJ Watt in a Browns jersey is something few could have imagined. But now that it's reality, one thing is certain. Every snap, every sack, every showdown between the Browns and Steelers will be must-watch football. This isn't just a transfer. It's a battle cry. And the war for the AFC North has officially begun. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you like the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!